Let's take a look at waiver wire hitters plus Luis Gil's injury up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Thursday, August 22nd. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White, and let's take a look at some waiver wire hitters and some names that could be out there in 3 outfielder leagues, some shallower formats, continuing to hit well. Kerry Carpenter, 2 for 5 with his 12th home run. Masataka Yoshida, 2 for 4 with a run and his first steal. He's basically been awesome since the start of July. And Jake McCarthy did it again, 1 for 5 with his 8th home run of the season. He has also been red hot in the second half. Scott, how are you ranking this group? Carpenter, Yoshida, and McCarthy.
Well, I think Yoshida is going to be number 1 for me in either scoring format, just because I think he's going to play most regularly. And I think his skill set is best suited for points leagues. So either format, he's number 1, but points leagues especially, Yoshida. 2, I'm going to say Carpenter, and 3, I'm going to say McCarthy, because I have the least confidence in McCarthy's skill set. But obviously, he's been very hot for a while now and plenty usable. I'm thinking if I have to commit to one of these guys rest of season, that's the order I do it: Yoshida, Carpenter, and McCarthy. But not huge gap in between any of them, again, except Yoshida and points leagues.
Let's take a look at some middle infielders. Mason Wynn, 3 for 6 with a run and an RBI here on Wednesday, hitting for more power so far in the second half. Brendan Rodgers having a big month of August, 364 with 3 home runs and a 10.09 OPS. He has 7 home games next week. And Spencer Horwitz has homered in back-to-back games, hitting for more power here in August as well. Scott, how are you ranking Mason Wynn, Brendan Rodgers, and Spencer Horwitz?
I am going to rank them Wynn, Rodgers, and Horwitz. But again, I don't see a ton of separation here. For points leagues, I might even say Horwitz is the most interesting because his plate discipline is so good. He is a left-handed hitter, and earlier on it seemed like the Blue Jays were sitting him more against lefties. He started against 6 of the 7 lefties they faced in August, so I don't think that's an issue for Horwitz anymore. He is not a big exit velo raw power guy, but he seems to have enough. The over-the-fence power has been there for Horwitz beyond what I think most people expected. And again, he walks a lot, doesn't strike out much, high line drive rate. So he might even end up with a better batting average than the 265 mark so far. But yeah, I mean, if I had to commit rest of season again, I'd probably put Wynn and Rodgers just a little ahead of Horwitz.
All right, and some names in slightly deeper leagues, 5 outfielder formats. Jean-Kenzie Noel, 2 for 3 with his 10th home run. He has started 7 of the past 8 games for the Guardians. Parker Meadows has hit well since returning. He went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 2 RBI. And Matt Wallner, 1 for 4 with his 8th home run. He blasted it. 111.5 exit velocity, over 400 feet. And he's batting over 300. He's got 7 home runs and 1,100 OPS since being recalled way back in July. Scott, how are you ranking Wallner, Meadows, and Noel in 5 outfielder leagues?
So I don't have a ton of confidence in any of them long term, I gotta say. So I kind of just rank them by whoever's hottest. I'd go with the hottest hand of the 3. I would say if the increased playing time for Noel is here to stay, he's going to play most consistently of them. It's a big if, but if it is, he started 7 of 8. I would think Jean-Kenzie Noel would play the most consistently because Meadows and Wallner tend to sit against left-handers. That's not an issue. Noel bats right-handed. But Noel has a high chase rate, K rate over 30%. His expected batting average, according to Statcast, is only 210. He hits the ball hard enough that maybe he can overcome that, but it's not something I'm really willing to bet on for Jean-Kenzie Noel. Wallner, we've seen him run very hot and cold. He was 1 for 14 in 7 games prior to homering here on Wednesday, and I think he's overdue for a cold snap, frankly. And then finally, Meadows. He's got an element of speed there that the other 2 don't. I just don't think he's very good. I don't think he has the raw power that the other two do, and I don't think he has a lot of batting average potential either. So he's third.
Let's wrap up just quickly mentioning Luis Gil's injury. He was placed in the IL with a lower back strain. Aaron Boone said the injury is considered minor. The Yankees are hopeful Gil can return when first eligible on September 5th. Will Warren was recalled to take Gil's spot in the rotation for now because Clark Schmidt is starting up a rehab assignment on Friday. So lots of moving parts here. Will Luis Gil return as a starter? Not entirely sure at this moment. If you are looking for a pitcher to stash, Clark Schmidt was great earlier in the season, and he's only 57% rostered. You want to hear more about that? Then you can listen to our full-length podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today, wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.